You know what's the most important thing about leadership? Showing up, because that's half the job done. Leaders must be visible in times of crisis, and that's what Vladimir Putin did today. He showed up, not alone, but with the full might of the Russian army. Let me show you these pictures. This was Moscow's Red Square earlier today. Thousands of Russian soldiers were marching in formation. Cutting-edge weapons were paraded. Generals, ministers, spy masters, Russia's most powerful men were in attendance. Now, every Victory Day is special in Moscow. It marks Germany's surrender to the Soviet Union in 1945, basically the end of World War II. For Russians, today is all about sacrifices. They lost 27 million people during the war, more than any other country, 27 million. But history tends to forget those sacrifices. You hear more about Dunkirk or Normandy, but very little about Kursk or Stalingrad. In reality, the war was won on the Eastern Front. It was the Soviet army that captured Berlin. Victory Day celebrates that achievement. It's all about remembering the past. Well, usually it is, not today. Today was all about the present. You see, in the 1940s, Russia did not want war. It was forced upon them. But in 2022, places have been swapped. In today's war, Russia is the aggressor. And today's parade reflected that role reversal. It was all about projecting power. 11,000 soldiers, 131 weapons, 77 fighter jets. That's what Russia showcased at the parade today. It was a message to Ukraine and the West. Do not take us lightly. That's what Moscow was saying. And sending that message was this man, Russian President Vladimir Putin. He walked around the Red Square, he reviewed the parade, and then he addressed his people. As expected, the Putin we heard was combative.
An absolutely unacceptable threat was created for us, and moreover, just next to our borders. Everything indicated that a clash with neo-Nazis, on whom the United States and its younger partners staked, was inevitable. I repeat, we saw how the military infrastructure was being developed, how hundreds of foreign advisors began to work. There were regular deliveries of most modern weapons from NATO countries. The danger grew every day. Russia has preemptively repulsed an aggression. It was a forced, timely, and the only correct decision.
A couple of things to note here. Number one, wasn't Putin supposed to be struggling with his health? That's what every Western publication said. Remember, Putin has cancer, Putin has Parkinson's. Clearly, that doesn't appear to be the case. He was walking fine, he was speaking fine. So maybe all those Western reports were simply wrong. Number two, Putin keeps talking about neo-Nazis in Ukraine. It may be a stretch, but who exactly is he referring to? Perhaps these soldiers. They belong to the Azov regiment. Right now, they're fighting alongside Ukraine's army, but their ideology is problematic. The Azov fighters are neo-Nazis. They use Nazi symbols, Nazi war cries, even Nazi war tactics. This regiment operates mostly in the East. There's no denying their ideology or their brutality. But how powerful are they? Reports say they have between 900 and 2,500 members. Strong, but not strong enough to influence the rulers in Kiev. So Putin's remarks are true about the neo-Nazis, but they're also an exaggeration. Point number three to note. What was the big takeaway from today's parade? That Putin is not stepping back. He wants a military victory in the East, and to do that, he needs the West to stay away, to stop sending weapons. And what's the best way to warn your rivals? Either you test a powerful weapon, or you flaunt them in a parade. The question is, did Ukraine get the message? Well, President Zelensky too released a video today, very different from Putin's. No big parades, no lethal weapons. This was a classic walk and talk. You can see Zelensky casually strolling through the empty roads of Kiev, but his message was far from casual.
Very soon there will be 2 victory days in Ukraine, and someone will not have even one left. We won then, we will win now too. And Khreshchatyk Street will see the parade of victory, the victory of Ukraine. Congratulations on the victory day over Nazism. Glory to Ukraine.
Notice how the end game has changed. First it was survival, then it was a negotiated settlement, and now Zelensky is talking about victory. Where does this confidence come from? His army did repel the attack on Kiev, but a bigger attack is unfolding in the east. And repelling that is not going to be easy. Zelensky needs to be 100% focused on that battle, which raises another question. How does he have time for all of these video shoots? Has Zelensky just become the mascot for this war? Or is he still the commander-in-chief? Sure, the information war is important, but retweets don't win you wars. Tactics do. And what exactly is Zelensky's tactic here? He's clearly feeling more confident. The question is why. One reason could be the American support. Just like Zelensky, Biden too has changed strategy, remember? In February, the White House said Kiev falling was a real possibility. By April, the Pentagon was talking about victory. Listen to this.
That Kyiv falling is a real possibility, and we've continued to see Russia's progression, even as we've seen resistance on the ground.
They believe that we can win. We believe that we can win. They can win if they have the right equipment, the right support, and we're going to do everything we can.
And that's what America is doing, flooding Ukraine with more and more weapons. So naturally, Ukraine feels emboldened. But what is Joe Biden's endgame here? He wants to use this war to weaken Russia, to deplete their arsenal, to isolate their economy. And so far, he's succeeded. Russia has been engaged in this battlefield for more than 70 days now. They've lost warships, dozens of tanks, not to mention thousands of soldiers that Putin does not want to talk about. Technically, Russia can still salvage this. They could stop with the conquest of Donbass. But at what cost? By then, Russia will be reduced to a middle power. So it's a lose-lose game for Vladimir Putin and also for Europe, if they're not careful. And this is very interesting. Before this war, Europe was looking for strategic autonomy. They'd had enough of US hegemony. They wanted to decide their own future. They were even talking about a European army. Now, this war changes a lot of those calculations. Dealing with Russia is not an option anymore. Neither is dealing with China. So Europe has been boxed in. They must rely on the United States of America. Just think about this. Germany is planning to spend $1 billion on defense. Where do you think all that money will go? To American defense contractors. So this war has done the US a favor because their influence was waning in Europe, because the NATO was becoming obsolete. Well, not anymore. Now you have Sweden and Finland considering NATO membership, applying for it, possibly. Such geopolitical plays are not new. Think back to the Vietnam War or the Soviet war in Afghanistan. Big powers fighting proxy wars to weaken their rivals is not new. But also remember what those power plays did to Vietnam, what they did to Afghanistan. Russia's Victory Day was a warning against that sort of thing, against expansionism, against big power rivalries. But here's what we say. Both Putin and Biden would do well to study those days of the World War. 50 million people died for needless political ambitions. More than 7 decades later, it seems little has changed. WION is now...
All right, so giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem Shah, double honor to Apostle President GMS and the elders and the brother GMS, shout out to the hope of the elect. So you see here the times that we are in, you know, man, let's go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 34. See the glory return. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When a branch is yet tender and put forth, leaving yet know that the summer is not. Verse 33. So likewise, when you should see all those things, know that he is near, even at the door, right? Near, even at the door. Verse 34. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all those things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass, but my word shall not pass away. Right, shall not pass away. Matthew 24, verse 42, it said, be ready for his coming. Watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord does come. Right, watch. Matthew 24, verse 42, it said, watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord does come. Let's move on. All right, let's go to Luke 21, verse 30, 36, and 34. Luke 21, verse 34, it said, "Take heed that no man deceive you." It's like I'm tripping. Luke 21, verse 34, it said, "Take heed to yourself, that any time your heart be overcharged, but suffer and drink it, and care of this life, so that they come upon you underwear." Right, they come upon you underwear. Verse 35, "For as a snare shall come on all that dwell on the face of the whole earth." It said, "Watch you therefore, and pray always, that you may be accounted worthy to escape all those things should come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man." Right, watch you therefore, and pray always. Luke 21, verse 36, it said, "Watch you therefore, and pray always, that you may be accounted worthy to escape all those things should come to pass and stand before the Son of Man." Let's go to Romans 13, verse 11. Romans 13, verse 11, it says, "And that knowing the time that now is high time to wake out of sleep, for near is our salvation, near that we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us watch." What the heck I'm doing? Romans 13, verse 12, "The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the work of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light." Right, let us put on the armor of light. Verse 13, "Let us walk in honesty, and in the day, not in rioting and drinking, not in chamber, and wanted, not in strife of envy, but put on the Lord Yahweh shall anointed, and make not provision of the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof." Right. Romans 13:11, it said, "And that known the time that now is high time to wake out of sleep, for near is our salvation, is near than we believe." Right, high time to wake up. Let's see. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1, it said, "The day of the Lord." Let me see. I'm gonna go to Ephesians. Then we get that. Go right in line with Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. "See then that you walk circumspect, but not as fools, but as wise." Verse 15. "Redeem the time, because the days are evil." Right, days are evil. Verse 17. "Wherefore be you not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is." Right, understand what the will of the Lord is. Verse 18. "Be not drunken with wine, within it exercise, but be filled with the Spirit." Right, be filled with the Spirit. Ephesians 5, verse 15 again. It says, "See then, you walk circumspect, but not as fools." Ephesians 5, verse 15, it says, "See then, you walk circumspect, not as fools, but as wise." Verse 16, "Redeem the time, because the days are evil." Verse 17, "Wherefore be you not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is." Right, understand what the will of the Lord is. Go to Ephesians, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. day of the Lord. But of the time and season, brother, I have no need that I write unto you. For yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. Right? Thief is the night. Verse 3, for what that should say peace and safety, then suddenly destruction come upon them as a trail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. They should not escape. Verse 4, but you, brother, you are not in darkness, that the day shall overtake you as a thief. You are the children of the light and the children of the day. We are not the night, nor of darkness. Therefore let us watch. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For the day that sleep in the night, and that they be drunken in the night. Verse 8, but let us who are of the day be sober, and put on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet the hope of salvation. For the Most High have not appointed us to wrath, but to attain salvation by our Lord Yahushua anointed, who died for us, that we will wake or sleep, we shall live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also you do. Right? Also you do. We get again the coming day of the Lord. Verse 2, it said, for yourself known perfect, the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. Right, thief in the night, man. Everybody get a couple more. Let's see what else I can get. Okay, 2 Peter. Chapter 3, verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us, were not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Right, that all should come to repentance. 2 Peter 3:9 again, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slacking, but is long suffering to us, were not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Right, that all should come to repentance. What else I got? All right. Oops. Amos 5:4. There should be a couple scriptures. Amos 5:4. For thou said the Lord unto the house of Israel, seek me and you shall live. Right, seek him and you shall live. Amos 5:18. It said, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, to what the end is for you. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Right, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Amos 5:18 again, it says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, to what the end is for you. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Right. Verse 19, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him. Should not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very darkness, and no bright in it? Man, no bright in it. So, yeah, man. Right, want and destruction. So, yeah, man. Repent, man. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, man. You know. So yeah, I'm gonna close it out right there. So hey, repent, kingdom heaven is at hand. We're gonna give all praise to Yahweh. By Hashem Shah, double honor to Apostle Brother GMS. Shalom to the whole elect. Shalom.